creating content and being creative has been kind of weird lately. Um, I kind of actually don't like that word content. It just, to me, it has like this sales pitchy vibe to it, and we're always there to keep pushing content, pushing videos, pushing whatever it is that what industry you're in. And I found it kind of strange for me as I've been in this journey of learning video, learning techniques, and all of that, and figuring out what do I like, what are my passions, what are things that like make me just like, oof, this is so fun. And don't get me wrong, I love filming. I love telling stories. I film weddings and I film businesses and kind of seeing their stories, and it's really cool meeting new people, all those types of things. um, but I'm in this place where like I'm also trying to see what God has for me as far as my voice. And growing up, I always kind of struggle with that. What is your voice, Jonathan? Like, what is it that you have to say? And sometimes that's kind of been tricky for me. I've not been a very outspoken guy, or I'm kind of reserved and been a little bit behind the scenes type of dude. And I would ask God, like, is that just me? Is that what I'm made to be? Um, but He clearly tells me that I have a voice, and sometimes I don't know what that looks like. I will. Um, Sometimes even verbal communication is kind of difficult for me. I'll fumble with my words, and I'll sometimes my brain I feel like goes a little bit faster than what my mouth can speak. And so growing up, that's always been a struggle for me. But people would tell me like, "Oh, Jonathan, you have a voice, and speak up," and all those things. And over these past few years, I've really um, just allowed myself to do so and speak up and not shy away from that. And so um, today I just kind of felt like pulling up this camera, and a lot of times I'm behind this camera and I'm hearing somebody else share their stories. Um, and so I got inspired this weekend. As some of you might know, my wife's been gone out in Rome for a week, and I've been kind of stuck in this house I mean, I have my kids, and right now they're in bed right now, so I'm able to even do this. But with my wife being gone, I've been kind of like, and she's in a different time zone, so it's been hard to connect with her and verbally talk. So I'm excited for her to come back. But during this time, it's kind of been almost like a somewhat sabbatical, like reflecting and starting to think and talk to God. And um, I got inspired because yesterday I went to men's breakfast. In the morning, I was like, I got time. My kids were away with my mom, and so I had time to go, and I was there, and I got to hear people share their stories or share struggles, and also just thoughts that they may have. And when one of my brothers, Carlos, he was talking about how generational, um, having that mindset of generational wealth or generational um, just upbringing, just having this generational mindset that whatever we do today, it's not just for me, it's for my kids, but also for my kids' kids, and having things go past your lifetime. And that's been a real huge passion of mine for probably these past 5 years, um, thinking about legacy and having things live faster than what or having things live longer than your life. And that really stuck with me. And then right after the men's breakfast is over, I usually just dip right after. And every Saturday there's prayer, and it's always right after men's breakfast. And most of the time I don't go because I feel like Saturday's always been kind of my like day off, and I get to spend time with the kids because the rest of the days are pretty much work related. Um, but this Saturday I didn't have no kids. My wife's in Rome. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to prayer. I mean, why not? And it was there were some powerful times in there, but even with the people gathered when we were gathering and praying over, I got prayed over, kind of got singled out and pointed, and God was speaking to me. And some of my brothers in Christ there were speaking about an impartation on me, and just yeah, lifting me up, encouraging. And then towards the end of it, I remember one lady, Giselle, she was saying about uh, how when she first came to the church, that she was like, why is he always got to film everything? Not in a negative way, but just kind of wondering like, oh, he's filming everything, recording everything. And then I got to share with her like my perspective and mindset when it comes to filming. um, I think of filming as like writing. Back in if you follow history, I mean, uh, people wrote back then, and so when Jesus' time was around, they saw what Jesus did, all the miracles he did, and they're like, man, we gotta write this down. Um, this needs to live past our lifetime. And God literally just made it to where, he's orchestrating it to where the time that writing became a little bit more prevalent, um, is that's how we got the Bible today. And then as history progresses, the printing press, and we're able to mass produce, and in the Bible it says it is written. That's always been like a really cool phrase for me. It is written. It's documented, it's recorded, it's you can't change it anymore. It's written down. And that's how I almost treat this with filming. We've only had cameras for the past maybe, I don't know, 100 and I don't know, let's just say 100 years or so. And I mean, nowadays we got like crazy 4K cameras that can really, really do some amazing things. And so God has gifted me with just learning the camera, learning um, things like lighting and all this other stuff. Yes, I'm not no super pro at it, but I know I've gained some skills in it. And so I asked God, like, God's kind of telling me like, what are you doing with it? Well, God, I'm helping the church out. I'm doing all these things. And I'm like, yeah, but what are you doing with it? And it really got me thinking about it. Like, hey, are you able to speak your voice through this? And I'll get inspired by others that are, they're posting videos, and sometimes it's just their iPhone right there, and they're sharing what wisdom they have, what thoughts they have, and so others can relate to that. And so then I'm like, Jonathan, what are you doing? Are you sharing anything? I mean, I believe I have some wisdom. No, I'm not the smartest guy or the most wisdom guy in the world, but same thing like sharing a gift or sharing your house or sharing this, the thing is sharing, right? We share what we have, whether that's knowledge or wisdom. To be selfish is to hold it back, hold it in, and be like, no, that right there is just for me. And so I'm going to be just a little bit more intentional with doing this. I know I've kind of tried this trail before, and I didn't really know what I was kind of doing with it. Sometimes it's always the fad is like, oh, let's make a YouTube channel. Let's do this. Let's get famous and all that stuff. And like, that's trash, man. It's like, that when that's the intent to go get the subscriptions and subscribe and all that stuff, that's just trash. But when the mindset is like, hey, if I could just inspire another person in any way, it's worth it. And inspiring, because I've been inspired by others. I've been inspired by YouTubers. I've been inspired by other people telling their stories, and just like the old days when they would write it down. Oh man, that dude did this. What this happened? Write it down. Write down. Well, there I am with my camera, and I'm like, that's where it's filmed. It is filmed. It is filmed. And to go along with generation, I just think it's just the coolest thing that, I don't know, 100 years from now or whatever, however long this world is still around here until Jesus comes. I mean, nobody knows. But imagine that 100 years from now, your I don't know, your great grandkids or your grandkids, whatever it is, they're seeing this. That's just a crazy mind-blowing concept that we've never been able to do in history. Because writing a book is one thing, and being able to picture it in your head, but like physically seeing this is another thing. And so those are just some of my thoughts for today. But I'm gonna try to be intentional on doing this maybe every week, or I don't really know. I'm not gonna put no timetable. Maybe it's whenever I get inspired. I really don't know. There's really no agenda to this other than press record and go. And if you get anything out of it or anything, so be it. Be inspired. Or if you have anything to say, just reach out as well. But this concept, it is written, but today it is filmed. God bless you.